What's going on YouTube? Um, I'm sure most of you have seen the announcement that both Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman made about the up and coming Deadpool 3 movie. Well, after that and the other video, I just had to do another sketch that involves Wolverine and Deadpool. So I'm just kind of trying to sketch it in first with a pencil and then flesh out the details with my mechanical pencil. I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3. The other two movies were alright. I didn't really have any issues with them. I'm not a huge Deadpool fan, but most people that know me know that I am, a pretty good Wolverine fan. So I'm hoping that in some ways that Deadpool 3 will, retcon X-Men Origins Wolverine movie. That movie had some, cool parts in it, but just what they did with Wade's character, it was like, that's dumb. And even Ryan Reynolds made fun of it in the first Deadpool movie. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed, I wasn't liking how the first Wolverine's head and Deadpool's head was looking, so kind of off camera I changed it up some, even changed up Wolverine's shoulder, his arm position. One of the things that I did while I was recording this, I was just recording it at normal speed, and I kind of forget that after 10 minutes is up, it stops recording. And the only way I knew, because I had the light on, was when the light turned off. So there are some parts that didn't quite get recorded when I was working through this, and you'll see some of that a little bit later on. But yeah, how many of you are looking forward to Deadpool 3? How many of you are excited that Hugh Jackman's gonna reprise his role as Wolverine? Pretty much a lot of us kind of thought that after Logan was done, that Hugh Jackman wouldn't be Wolverine again. But even though Hugh Jackman is my height, 6'2", and those that are with the comic book Wolverine, yeah, we know that he's not quite that tall. And when we kind of found out that the MCU is going to finally bring in the mutants, all the X-Men people, that they were probably going to recast Wolverine and maybe have someone that was a little bit shorter, a little bit stockier. But the MCU is going to do what the MCU wants to do. And are they going to keep Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? I don't know. We'll see. With everything that the Fox X-Men movies have been through, how many of those are going to stay canon with the MCU? With the whole time travel bit. Again, some of this Deadpool makes fun of in the first movie. Who are they going to use as Professor Xavier, even though in the Doctor Strange movie we saw Patrick Stewart, and I love Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier. Would he want to keep doing it? I think it would be awesome, but we'll see. But as you can see right now, I'm just kind of putting in all what I'm going to consider all the black areas to be. I'm using a new pen that I got through my Sketchbox subscription. It's called King Art. It's a type of brush pen. It came with 3, a large, medium, and a fine tip. So I kind of want to test these out, and this kind of gave me the perfect opportunity to at least try the medium-sized one out. But yeah, I'm just kind of going over that. I will be using 2 or 3 different brands of alcohol-based markers, Copics, and another brand I don't think a lot of people have heard of. They're called the Master's Touch, and one other I may not use, I can't think of it at the moment, is a Prismacolor markers. But actually I don't think I really used any of the Prismacolor markers, but definitely use the Copics and the Master's Touch. Also used a Copic multi-liner for the beginning of when I was outlining Wolverine and Deadpool. I was at 1 point, and I think I used a 0.3 for some of the other details. But now I'm going in using burnt sienna, doing the brown part of Wolverine's costume. This is, I think it's an older Copic marker compared to some of the other ones I've seen that are more round, where this is more angular. Out of the 2 characters of Wolverine and Deadpool, which one do you like most? Oh, and there, bam. As you notice, the orange just kind of appeared. I think that was one of the times when I was working and didn't know the 10 minutes were up. But, coloring the skin, the belt, same color I'm going to use for Deadpool's head. Now, I know there's a lot of Deadpool fans out there, and that's great. Again, I was introduced to Wolverine, I'm gonna somewhat date myself, but in the mid to late 80s, when I was getting into comics, a friend of mine at the time introduced me to the Uncanny X-Men, and I've seen Wolverine before. The old Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon, when the X-Men were in there. I think that was the first time I was introduced to Wolverine. But after getting into the X-Men comics, he just became my favorite. But now I'm using a somewhat darker brown to add in some value, some darker areas in both the costume and the skin. even kind of going over some of the orange areas with the brown marker. This was a fun sketch to do. Sometimes I'm asked how long does a drawing take me, and I don't really know because I don't work on it all in one sitting. I'll just work on it a little bit at a time, depending on the day. And I think this whole drawing took, I'm going to say at the most, maybe 2 hours. Or somewhere in between that. But yeah, just still adding some darker tones, adding up the layers. That's what I like about some of these alcohol-based markers. You can definitely add more layers to get some areas darker. But I'm basically just kind of working on the final touches. And here I'm going to be using the gray to kind of do the claws and parts of his gloves on his right hand. And again, just kind of go over some parts of the drawing, just kind of make it a little bit darker. And now I think, using a white Posca paint pen to add in some highlights. One thing I like about the Posca pen is once it's dry, when I use a color go over it, makes the color a little bit lighter. And now I'm adding a little something that Wade is saying to Logan. We're just about finished here. And I didn't notice, but when I was signing it, I had it too low for the camera to catch. So without further ado, here's the drawing, the whole drawing with my signature. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a thumbs up if you did. Take care.